Hey, Kia. How are you, my dear? How was your day? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to put this out there. You guys are gonna hear some beeping. I think it's my one of my fire alarms, like my smoke detectors. I have several of them in my home, so I'm safe, but I can't figure out which one it is. So after the show tonight, I will be checking to figure out which one it is and to change the battery. Okay, so that's the disclaimer. So I'm glad you're doing good, Kia. So, you guys, welcome to Fill Up Friday Live. I am your host, Mrs. J. Spire. If this is your first time watching and sharing with us tonight, please be sure to comment. Let us know where you're listening from and let us know if it's your first time. We would love to shout you out. Also, if you are catching the replay, thank you so much for joining us. You can still comment. I go back and I check the comments so that I can respond if I need to, because we want to welcome you guys. Good evening, Deborah. Thank you for joining us. Deborah is one of our Fill Up Friday faithful. She comes on every Friday night. And so thank you so much for joining us. I see my auntie Ruth is on here. She hasn't said anything in the comments, but I see her watching. So, auntie, welcome to the show tonight. Listen, you guys, we are so excited to be on with you. We're so excited that you are taking the time to come and spend some time with us on a Friday night at 8 o'clock. We have a lot to talk about tonight. I'm going to give the Philip Friday Faithful some time to come on before we get started, because you guys know we don't want you to miss anything. And if you have been blessed by Philip Friday, in our conversations, make sure you are sharing and make sure you are inviting um, you're inviting some folks to come and to share with us. So again, I'm going to do another disclaimer for people as you're coming in. You're going to hear some beeping. It's one of my fire alarms, but I am safe. I have several fire alarms in my home. Just need to figure out which one it is. And I'm going to change that battery as soon as we log off. But I did not want to be late coming on. So you're going to hear that beeping, but it's okay. I'm safe. We're good. And it's going to get taken care of. Hey, Kenya, I see you watching too. So listen, you guys, begin to drop into the comments what you filled up on this week. If you feel like you didn't fill up on anything and it's something that you need, drop into the comments what you need. We hope that you're able to get it by the time we leave. We hope that in our time of sharing and talking and encouraging and motivating, that you're able to get what you need. And then when you leave, you are not on empty. Did you guys have a good week? Yes, happy Friday, KB. Happy Friday. I have been waiting for Friday at 5 o'clock all week. It has been a long week. So tonight, like I said, we have a lot to just to dissect, a lot to talk about. I have so much that I want to talk about that I'm not even sure what I'm going to talk about. But you guys know we allow the Spirit to lead us here on Jspirations Live, and that we're always transparent and we could talk about anything, because Jspirations Live is what is real life, is real talk. With real people, we have real conversations. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I do not want to keep you guys long tonight. You know, as we share throughout the week, if God doesn't give us anything to share, then we don't post anything, because we like to be really transparent and we like to be really intentional about what we're sharing. As I started to think back on what we were posting this week, I was thinking, man, like, I don't see a theme. I don't see anything. It's just things that God has been dropping into my spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and start by reading what we posted this week. I hope you guys are following the post. So on Saturday, we posted Show Up Saturday. Don't wait for someone to show up for you. Show up for yourself and show out, even if nobody else is there. Then on Sunday, I need to start getting you guys to start reading our post. But then on Sunday, we shared people may call it bragging. I call it let me tell you what the Lord has done for me. Testimonies help you and others overcome. Don't let what people may think or say keep you from freedom. Okay, gonna keep going. And then on Monday, we talked about making a change. This is a long one, so I'm not going to read all of it. Oh, I may. But it said that when my child was little, they were learning about community helpers at school. He came home and he asked me about my job. I told him. He was excited and he called me a community helper. He couldn't wait to tell his friends and his teachers. So fast forward to today. We posted this on Monday. Fast forward to today, I woke up with a million things on my mind. I shook it off and I got to work doing what I do to help the community. After work, I had an experience with someone in the community. I was reminded that people look to me. Sometimes I don't like that responsibility, but there is a leader and leadership inside of me. And every day that I let it out, something changes. Be the change. The world needs it, even if they don't know it yet. I was thinking, Lord, what are you talking about? What are you giving me for this week? And then on Tuesday, we posted Tell Yourself Tuesday. It may not look like it or feel like it, but it's going to happen. In fact, it's happening right now. Do you guys see a theme? I was still thinking, okay, God, you're giving me a lot of things, but I still don't know what we're going to be talking about on Philip Friday. And then on Wednesday, we had Wisdom Wednesday. God is not a man that he should lie. Speak it. I shall see the goodness. It's coming my way. And so we didn't post anything on Thursday and we didn't post anything today. Why? Because we're coming together tonight to bring it all together for Philip Friday. So even as I was thinking, welcome to everyone that's come on. I see Paula, I see LaShonda coming on. I'm going to do a disclaimer one more time because this will be one of the ladies who will say, I hear this beeping in the background. You need to change your battery. Yes, I do. I don't know which one is coming from, but I'm safe. I have several in the house, but I'm going to change it after we log off tonight. So excuse the beeping, but this is going to be some meat and potatoes, so it's okay. So even as I was thinking about what we were going to talk about tonight, honestly, I still was like, I have no idea what what we're going to be talking about and what's going to be coming out. But as I started reading with you guys and just going over all of the things, there really was a theme and there's really was some intentional things that God was really just trying to show us, right? Because all things come together. So when we posted the first time on Saturday, and we started to talk about like showing up and showing up for ourselves. And then later in the week, we talked about that Sunday being able to, tell your testimony, talk about what God has done for us, right? Talk about what he's done for you, where he's brought you from. Sometimes when we start to think about those things, people can start to think, oh, they're bragging, they're showing off. They want people to know what they have. But when I'm talking about testimonies, I'm not talking about those material things to be able to show people what you have. I'm talking about being able to tell people what God has done, right? Being able to be and to move the way that he has given you the strength, right? Because sometimes people see you doing things, right? And they think that it's just you, or they think that it's so easy. But we have to be able to share about the goodness of God and how it's his strength that's moving us through these places and moving us to these places. Because like me, myself, and I'm sure many of you, there are days and there's times where we're just like, we don't want to do anything. We don't feel like we have the strength to do anything, but God pushes us through, right? Like he doesn't just hold our hand, but he literally picks us up and he carries us, right? And then we started talking about being a community helper, right? And being the change, because there is a leader inside of us. There is leadership inside of us. So even times when we don't want to do anything, that because of who is in us, right? Because of who God has called us to be, we have to use those leadership skills. We have to be a leader, and we have to keep going, and we have to keep pushing, because people are looking to us, even though we don't want that responsibility. And then we started saying, tell yourself that it may not look like it, or it may not feel good. It may not look like things are going to happen, but in fact, it's happening right now. So, how does all of that come together? Well, it all comes together because of the things that we have in us, and because of the things that we do for other people, right? That's where we have to start. We have to do things for other people even when we don't want to. We have to push through, and then we have to talk about the strength that God has given us to do it, right? Because then he's going to keep on moving us and moving us, and the things that we want and the things that we need, he's going to start bringing those things through fruition, right? But we have to, it can't always be about us, right? We can't just make it just about us. It's not just about you. It's about the love. I've been singing this song all week. R. Kelly. We do it for love. And I kept saying, why am I singing this song over and over and over again? And I called my sister and I was like, why is that song? Why do I keep singing that song? I don't listen to R. Kelly. But I think I heard it at her celebration, and it's just been like in there. And it's because we do it for love. The things that God does for us, he does it for us because he loves us. He does it for us because we're the apple of his eye, right? And so on this earth, we are him on the earth. And so we have to get out of not doing things for people, or doing things that he's called us to do just because we don't want to do it. We do it for love. We do it because of the love that he has poured into us. And then he in return allows us to pour that love into other people. And so it doesn't always look the way we want it to look. Things that we want, sometimes it comes slow, but it's already happening. And then he's doing it through the love that we're giving to other people, right? And that's a hard pill to swallow. Sometimes we can't see it. We don't understand it. We don't want the responsibility of it. We just want it to be all about us. We talk about self-care all the time, and that's important. And I know I'm always pushing that, and it is, because we have to take care of ourselves in order to take care of other people. But the point is that we have to take care of other people as well. And taking care of other people, it's not always just that physical, right? Like doing things for them, but it's loving on them, right? We're doing it for love. We're doing it because the love that God has put into our heart, right? We're doing it because we are leaders. It's the qualities that we have inside of us. We're doing it because it's purposeful, and because God has called us to do it. And those things that we want and we need, we keep doing all these things, but we don't see anything. And no, it's happening, right? It's actually happening, and we don't see it because we're not looking at the big picture. We're looking at all these small things or things that we're going through, but we're doing it for love, because God did it for us because he loves us. He's doing it for us because he loves us. And so that's why we have to do it. And in going through that and being obedient, listen, we are going to see the goodness of the Lord. And it's not only are we going to see it, we're already seeing it. We wake up every day. We have life. We have breath. We have material things as well, right? Like he's given us. Think about the way that we grew up. Some of us didn't have a lot of anything, right? And we look at things that we have now. Most of the time, we have too much of it. We don't even know what to do with it. Some of those things go to waste, right? Because we have too much, right? And so we're already seeing the goodness of God, right? It's happening right now, even if it doesn't look like it, even if it doesn't feel like it. The obedience and the love that we are showing to other people, it's the things that God has given us. It's happening right now. And so you may see it as something small, but it's not small, right? He just keeps on giving us, and he keeps on giving us, and it keeps on growing. Janice says it's purposeful, right? Like all the things that we have to do that even sometimes we don't want to do, right? It's purposeful, and it's for the greater good. It's for the bigger picture. So what did I fill up on this week? I filled up on knowing that when I do things, regardless of what's going on around me, listen, I had a situation this week where there was an expectation that someone was putting on me. And I was like, who do they think that I am? And who do they think that they are? That they think that they should have that expectation that I should do that for them. Right. And I didn't do it because it wasn't something that I needed to do. But instead of responding in a negative way, I didn't actually, I responded, but I didn't react. So I did it in love. Right. I responded in love. I responded in a patient way. I responded with kind words because I could have reacted, right? Because we know that reaction is when we're doing something that we don't think about. We just go all off emotion and we don't think about anything and we just start talking or we just start doing it. So I did it in love because I responded, right? And I still didn't have to take that responsibility on to do it because it wasn't my responsibility, but my response was in love, right? And so what I want to give you guys tonight is whatever we do it in love. Know that it's purposeful. Know that what God has promised us because of our obedience and doing what He has called us to do, that it is not only going to happen, but it is happening right now. And we have to see it before we see it. God already knows the plans that He has for us. We don't know the plans. We have these small plans. We have these plans that's like they're not even for us. It's just something that we're thinking about. But God knows the plans that He has for us, right? And it is happening right now. It's already here. We just have to, but we have to speak it. We have to believe it. We have to see it. And most importantly, we have to trust God, because why? He is not a man that He would lie. If He's already given you a vision, if He's already told you, then please know that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to come to pass because God's not going to lie about it, right? Think about so many things that I'm sure you have asked God for, things that you have asked Him to do for you. It may not have happened in the next hour. It may not have happened in the next day, but you can't say that it didn't happen because He keeps His promises. He always keeps His promises. So continue to walk in obedience. Continue to respond and do things out of love. No, I'm not saying that you have to do everything that someone wants you to do. God doesn't require that of us. But even when we're not able to do it, then we can respond in love. We don't have to react. When that situation came upon me this week, I just giggled, right? I giggled because laughter is good for the soul, right? And so I giggled about it. And that little bit of giggle gave me what I needed to say, you know what? I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm just going to respond to it, and I'm going to respond to it in love. And then I'm just going to keep on moving, because there's no need to allow that situation to take up capacity in my mind or in my heart. I know that's something that God's not calling me to do, right? And that's why we have to be in relationship. We have to be in communication with God so that we can be aware of what He's calling us to do and what He's not calling us to, because He doesn't call us to everything and to everybody. Right. And that's why we have to stay in constant communication with Him so that we can know what we're called to. And so those things that we're not called to, we can respond and we can say no in love. Right. But I want you to understand that there's leadership inside of you. There is a leader inside of you, and that whatever God has promised you, you just keep on walking in obedience, and you keep on leading, and you keep on allowing Him to lead you. And it is going to come to pass. You are going to see the goodness of the Lord. What I want you guys to listen to later tonight, I want you to listen to Rashawn Mitchell, and I want you to listen to the song "See the Goodness." Right, that song is going to bless your heart. See the goodness of the Lord. Everything that we're going through, we don't understand it, but we're going to see the goodness of the Lord. and what he has promised us is going to come to pass. I love you guys, and I appreciate you all spending some time with us on a Friday night at 8 o'clock. I appreciate, you being a Philip Friday faithful to my folks who come on every Friday night. I appreciate it. Listen, tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to have Sit Down Saturday. Real talk, real life, right? We're going to have Pastor Toshiba Rice, aka T Rice. She's going to be on with us talking tomorrow. Both she and I have we've had some experiences in the last year and a half, but God has brought us through like no other. Tomorrow, you are going to see two beautiful women on your screen talking about life, having real talk and having real conversation, and talking about the love of God and talking about the strength that He has given us to walk through this journey. Real life, real talk, transparency, right? And so, you guys don't want to miss it. It is going to be a conversation that is going to absolutely change your life. I was talking to my first lady a little earlier, and I was telling her, we're going to start a new series as well in June called Men Talk Too. And my pastor always says, men need men, right? And I was telling her how I'm so thankful that as a woman, I have realized that women need women, right? And I want everybody to get to that point where they understand that we need each other, right? And so having this conversation tomorrow, just like I said, two women who have gone through so many things, but being able to tell the story. Listen, grab all of your good girlfriends tomorrow and head over to this very page. We're going to be streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. It's a conversation you don't want to miss. God has been so good to us. There's been so many things going on. In our lives, in the world, and we need each other. We need to have real, transparent conversation. We need to testify about the goodness of God and allow other people to know that things are going to happen, but He is going to bring us through. He keeps His promises, you guys. And just, like I was saying earlier, I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about tonight. And sometimes I actually feel like I'm rambling. But now, as I'm just thinking about the things that we posted this week and thinking about what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, and thinking about the song that we posted this week, see the goodness, right? All the things that we're going through, we still have to see the goodness. We don't understand it. Sometimes we may not ever understand it, why things happen, why we're in certain parts of our lives, right? But we have to see the goodness. And so I sit here tonight and I smile because I know that I'm going to have tears. But I thank God for my smile because I thank God that I can see the goodness, right? Even through all the things that we're going through, I can see the goodness of God shining in my life. For the things that He's doing, for the family that He's given me, for the people in the community that He has surrounded me with. Listen, you guys, a community is so important. Even our community that we have every Friday night, this is important. It's accountability, right? It's being able to trust each other. It's being able to come together to say, hey, I filled up this week and this is what I filled up on. Or I didn't fill up on, so I need to be around my people. I need to be around my sisters. And we're inviting men too. Come and let's have real conversation because we need each other. Janice, is tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. Listen, we are going to have a time. Last night we did light check and we did checking in to make sure we can log in. And the conversation that we had was phenomenal, right? And that was just with the two of us. So I can't wait to share with you guys tomorrow and to bring you guys into the conversation. It is going to be an awesome time. Toshiba has an awesome testimony, and through her testimony, she is still out in the community, regardless of all the things that she's been through. She's still out in the community trying to, there's a leader inside of her, her, right? There's leadership inside of her. So even though I'm sure there's days where she has crazy days where she wants to go somewhere and just tuck in, but because of her obedience, God just keeps strengthening her. And while he's strengthening her, he is strengthening the community and he is educating them. And through all of that, we are seeing the goodness of the Lord. Right, every Friday that I come on, it's through obedience, because sometimes I don't want to come on, but it's through obedience. And because of that obedience, I'm walking in a level of freedom that I didn't think that I could walk in. I'm walking in a level of healing that I didn't think that I could walk in. And it's everyday peaches and cream? Absolutely not. Do I have my days? Absolutely. Did I have one this week? Absolutely. Didn't make it to work until 12 o'clock. Couldn't get my thoughts together. I woke up, my mind was full. Couldn't get my clothes together. Probably changed my clothes 5 times before I could get out the door. But even through it all, I called my mom. She may have called me and she got me together, right? And then I was able to see the goodness of the Lord. And then not only did she get me together, but because of my obedience and listening to her, I was then able to get myself together and I was able to get dressed and I was able to go out into the world and do what I needed to do, because there is a leader inside of me. There is leadership inside of me. And when I do what I'm supposed to do, then there is a change that happens. What we posted this week is that the world needs us, even if they don't know that they may not know it yet, right? But the world needs us. And so we have to be obedient and go out into the world and do what we need to do. And when we go out there, it has to be a change. We always say darkness can't shine in light, but light can shine in darkness, right? So we have to go out and we have to shine, baby, shine, right? We have to just keep going, even when we want to stop. So Deborah says, I call it my shift. And then Kenya says, walking in your purpose. And then Lucy says, light is forever shining. Absolutely. And then Paula says, we have to trust God. Listen, we have to. There's going to be times when we don't want to do anything, but we have to trust God and we have to be obedient and we have to keep going. Right. So I'm going to put some things up here because I want you guys to see it. Ruth says, yes, because we can always grow. Absolutely. And it's a growing process, right? Like when we're going through these things, it's because we're growing. We talk about growing pains, and growing pains are real, like in the physical. When children are growing, that's something that's real. Like you can read about it in medical books. You can talk to the pediatrician about it. Like growing pains are real, but those growing pains, it strengthens those muscles, it strengthens those bones, and it stretches them, right? It stretches us. And a lot of times we're being stretched and it doesn't feel good. But at the end, you're going to see the goodness. And so listen, I know I'm full this week. I'm full this week. And I filled up on a lot of things. But one of the things I really filled up on is just knowing that there is a leader in me. My child saw it when he was little. And so because he's already seen it and he knows that it's there, I can't stop, because now he's my child and he has an expectation that I am a leader. I am a community helper, right? And so I have to keep going. And those are the things that I'm instilling in him. He is a leader. We are community helpers, right? So we have to keep going. So I love you guys. I appreciate you all coming on tonight. I can't see everybody that was on. Oh, my daughter's watching tonight. Hey, girl. Hey, my sister popped on. Cornelia, my brother popped on. Dimitri. LaJail popped on. I see so many people popping in and out, and sometimes I may not be able to see it. But my daughter, hey daughter. So I love you guys. I just want you to continue to walk in your purpose. I want you to continue to do what God has called you to do. Kenya said it best: walking in your purpose. Continue to walk in your purpose. When you're walking in your purpose, you're walking in what God has given you, you are going to see the goodness. And my mom is probably going to say, you said that so many times. Don't repeat yourself when you're talking. But I want to drive that home to you tonight, that you are going to see the goodness. So even when you're going through things, just know that you're going through it. You don't have to stay in it, and there is an ending. And we're walking through it. So I love you guys. I will see you guys in the morning at 9:30 a.m. I expect that when I log on, I expect to see all my Fill Up Friday faithfuls popping on. And when you come on in the morning, make sure you put in the comments where you're watching from. Make sure that you let the folks know that you are a Fill Up Friday faithful. Make sure that you know that you put in there that we are expecting a great time tomorrow, and make sure that you share it. Listen, don't keep all this Jayspiration to yourself. Make sure that you share it so other people can come on and they can get fed and they can fill up. And then I'll be sharing the information shortly about our new series, Men Talk 2. I cannot wait to get the men on the show. I've started to put together some great guests. Men Talk 2. We need to hear from them. Just like the world needs to hear our voices, we need to hear from our men. So I'm excited about getting that series started in June. And we may not be able to get everybody in June, so we may be running it through the summer. And then I want you to save the date. I think we're looking at August the 19th for our 5-year Jayspiration celebration. Details are coming soon, but this is the year that we are walking in expectation. We're walking in preparation. We're walking in wisdom, and we are walking in vision, right? So it's time for us to go. I'm always saying all the things that I want to do, and I don't always do it. So I need some accountability, and this being here every Friday night is part of the accountability. So we are growing, and we have a lot of things coming up for this summer. But so tomorrow 9:30, and then keep in mind that Men Talk 2 series. If you have a man that you feel like has some wisdom, some information that we need to talk about, let me know. We want to have them on. It's not just about me finding guests. You guys are very much a part of Jayspirations and what we do. So I want to hear from you as well. Let me know who's out there so we can allow the world to hear what they have inside of them. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a safe weekend, you guys. Be safe. Pay attention. Don't be out all night hanging out and stuff. Just pay attention to what's going on around you. Look out for yourself and look out for each other. Practice some self-care this weekend. I'll see you guys in the morning. And as always, be Jayspired.